sir.
I just thought, first of all, game went about as I expected. I have to quit like visioning these games because they playing out like I say they're going to, and so I need to start thinking something different. Hey, we're going to win big, maybe it'll happen, manifest itself like that. But they very defensive-minded team, which y'all saw. Yeah, of course, I don't think any of you guys were in the Hardwood Club meeting. We go up and talk to the Hardwood Club prior to the game, and we talked about baskets would be hard to come by, and it was going to be very physical, and there's going to be some fouling and that type of stuff, and we were going to have to match or exceed their physicality. But I thought one area that the reason that we won tonight was our defensive effort. I think we held them to 34%. 34.5%, which again is outstanding, and held them to under 60, and that's one of our defensive goals. So real proud of our defensive effort because we just didn't quite ever get in the flow. Of course, our foul trouble had a lot to do with disrupting our rhythm a lot. Of course, Felipe had 3, Mo had 4, and it kind of kept us out of our rhythm. But Texas State deserves a lot of credit. TJ does a great job, and anyway, we'll have a hard time over there. We'll go back over there in a couple of weeks for sure, but for the moment, I'm really proud of our team.
You talk about their defensive effort. I think towards the very end of the first half, you guys were on a 4-minute field goal drought, and the start of the second half, there was another 3-minute scoring drought. What kind of happened right there?
And I thought what I really go back to, Andrew, a lot of times is the quality of shot. And were we turning it over? No. Were we taking bad shots? And there was 1 or 2 that I felt were questionable. But I thought for the most part we were getting good looks at it. Felipe a couple of times at the top of the key, had Denaje knifing in there to the rim. Shots, a lot of those are good shots for us. They just weren't going, And so I would be more concerned if it was shot selection. But from my recollection, of course, I don't have the value yet of watching the film. And I'll watch it, and I'll watch that gap where we went struggling and see what I can do a better job, and maybe a better job of calling the game. And I didn't think that, I thought in the first half too that it took us a little bit to get in a rhythm. Of course, they had a lot to do with that, but I didn't think that we were, not that we were resorting to one-on-one basketball, but the ball has to move for us. We talk about the ball having energy. It has to move, and that's our game, and we were trying to take advantage of mismatches in the post off switches and things like that too early, and it disrupted the flow of what we were trying to do. But Texas State had a lot to do with that.
Foul trouble. You got tech. Was it you that got the tech?
No, it was Coach Juan, unfortunately. And but I will say this, Coach Juan, and of course we talked to the official about it, and he I think it was Juan's reaction. Of course, Juan's fiery, and Juan was simply yelling at the guys to get back. We had missed a shot. He was hollering, he was screaming, get back, get back. But because it was maybe a foul, and the official from the other side of the floor thought that he was contesting the call, which he was not. But anyway, we gotta kind of, I think Coach Juan's beginning to get not a reputation of yelling at the officials, but because he is so fiery and animated on the sideline, we'll have to address that, and he will.
Seeing as how the last few years have gone, coming into this year, did you ever think you'd be in a position where you could win by 9 points against a pretty good team where not everything goes your way?
Well, I think that's a sign when you don't play your best, and I don't want to say we didn't play well enough because I don't want in any way to be disrespectful of Texas State because again I have great respect for them. That's the first time I've ever coached against TJ's team. I've never played against Texas State at any of my stops, and but of course, I knew they were one of the top, picked in the top 3 or 4 of the league, and so we knew that they had an outstanding team. And of course, if you looked at all their scores were 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, either way, win or lose. And of course, that's the way we were shaping up until we made that spurt in the last couple of minutes. But anyway, proud of our team.
Big play by Austin right there, coming up with the steal and the score to just be the final dagger.
Players make plays. Players make plays, and that's not stuff you design, but players are going to make plays, and he's a player, and we got some other players out there too, but he's a player, and I thought our defense really stiffened up those last 3 or 4 minutes. I don't know what the scoring was in the last 3 or 4, but it was tight, and we did a better job. We were rebounding like we wanted to win. There was a commitment that maybe we were a little bit soft on earlier in the game. I thought our guys did a great job of finishing that game out.
Just going off of that, kind of similar to a game earlier in this home stretch, just how do you kind of assess your team's composure down the stretch.
Yeah.
I think 2 games that they've kind of tightened up in those like final minutes.
Yeah, I think we have great composure, and I think we have great experience out there. Of course, Mo, Nefta, Austin, Felipe, Gray, Denaje, Donovan Ivory, of course, starting to work his way in there. I thought they showed great composure, and I thought we got good looks at the basket. We worked the ball up against the press. We got the ball to the right people, right free throw shooters' hands. That's a big thing for us when we get into a situation where they're beginning to have to foul, to make sure that our best free throw shooters are going to the line, and we were able to do that. So I thought our guys did a great job of handling the pressure. And I'll say this one more time. I've continued to say it. I don't know what the attendance was today. Do y'all have an attendance figure yet?
42 and change.
Okay, all right, so that's 4 straight games we've had 4,200 or better, right? Which I think is some of the top attendance we've had in the last 9 years. The crowd, and it's, you can't even get off the floor, you know, because of the community involvement and so forth, and we love that. We love seeing the kids happy, and, you know, my 96-year-old teacher, Miss Penny Katisky was here, you know, and got her black and gold on, crying, you know, the whole thing. And I'll shout out to Miss Katisky because I'm sure she'll be watching the news tonight, and went over there and gave her a hug. But that it means Southern Miss Athletics means a lot to this community. It means, and our community is not just Hattiesburg or Hattiesburg proper. It's South Mississippi and really the state of Mississippi. I can't tell you. Jennifer can reference this a lot, the amount of text and phone calls and emails that we're getting on a daily basis from really people all over the country, but really for all over Mississippi. Coach, we're, you know, so excited about what's happening in Hattiesburg. So I'm thankful, grateful. Our crowds have been outstanding. Our players, they're feeding off that. So that's a good win for us today.
Coach, 12-0, I believe, at home now. Could you just talk about that, just win streak right there?
One of our goals when we met in the summer was we set up a bunch of goals for ourselves. Of course, our ultimate goal is to win the national championship, right? And but we set a lot of sub goals for ourselves too, because you need some of those sub goals as you move on to kind of keep you motivated, so to speak. And one of them was we knew that if to get as good a seed as we can get in the, of course, we still have 3 more. We can get into the going into the conference tournament. We have to be we wanted to be undefeated at home, and of course that included some non-conference games as well. And of course that helps the win-loss record. But you know, you can't become a good road team unless you win at home, right? So you got to do that first. So so far so good.
One more question.
Coach, you guys keep finding ways to win, even in not the prettiest of wins. I mean, you have to feel good about that, knowing that they are capable of doing that.
Well, I think we have some winners. I mean, I don't want to sound simple, but I think we've got guys that they understand the process of winning, which is working hard each and every day. They're coachable. They're good young men. They're the type of guys you like to be around every day. And they're talented and skilled, and they want to win. And that's what I'm saying. Those last 4 or 5 minutes, I thought we really tightened up on both ends, and it was that will to win, because we weren't great. I mean, we weren't poor by any sense of the means, up to any sense of the imagination up to those last 5 minutes. But I thought the last 5 minutes, you could really see that will to win. The way we rebounded, we looked like we had a little extra effort on defense. We were skying up for I see guys' hands getting up there, you know, jerking down tough rebounds. So that was exciting to see.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.